Imagine a war where the two most powerful men in the country lived in the same high-security compound, shared the same state secrets, and commanded the same soldiers. For years, they were the architects of Sudan's iron-fisted rule, standing shoulder to shoulder in the halls of power. But on April 15, 2023, that shared world turned into a furnace. Within minutes, the capital of Khartoum, a city of 6 million people, became a graveyard for the unbeatable alliance. But here is the shocking fact you haven't heard. This isn't just a battle for a flag or a constitution. It's a collision between two private business empires worth billions. And in this fight, both sides have already lost the very country they claim to be saving. You've seen the headlines, but the real reason this conflict is unsolvable has been buried under layers of classified international interests and untold gold smuggling operations. Today, we are peeling back the curtain on why Sudan is trapped in a death loop. By the end of this video, you'll understand the secret role of the Wagner Group, the true price of Sudanese gold on the global market, and why a total military victory for either side is a mathematical impossibility. Stick around, because the climax of this story involves a betrayal that didn't just break an army, it changed the map of Africa forever. Meet General Al-Burhan, leader of the Sudanese Armed Forces, SAF. He represents the old guard. He has the heavy tanks, the fighter jets, and the official title of head of state. His power is institutional, built on decades of military dominance. Now meet Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, better known as Hemeti. He leads the RSF, a paramilitary force born from the shadows of the Janjaweed. He doesn't have a formal military education, but he has something arguably more powerful, a highly mobile, battle-hardened army that specializes in the kind of brutal urban warfare that makes tanks useless. How did a simple camel trader from the desert become a billionaire warlord with a private army larger than most European nations?
The answer is simple: gold. Hemeti controlled the mines in the north. Burhan controlled the state apparatus in the center. For years, they were partners in a secret arrangement to loot the nation's wealth. But when the time came to merge their forces, the clock ran out. Burhan wanted integration in 2 years. Hemeti demanded 10. That 8-year gap was the spark that set the country on fire. If this were just about two men, the ammunition would have run out months ago. The real power? It's flowing across the borders. Imagine you're trying to put out a fire, but your neighbors are throwing gasoline on it from every window. This isn't just a civil war, it's a high-stakes geopolitical chessboard. One side is backed by advanced satellite-guided drones, the other by the revealed logistical networks of the Wagner Group and foreign powers hungry for influence. It's a proxy war in plain sight. When the SAF gains ground with their air force, a fresh shipment of surface-to-air missiles arrives for the RSF to level the playing field. It's a perfect stalemate, meticulously maintained by outsiders to keep the gold flowing and the strategic Red Sea ports accessible to the highest bidder. In this shadow economy, the war is actually profitable for those on the sidelines. Wait, before you think this is just another regional spat, you need to see the scale of the heist. Did you know that over 70% of Sudan's gold is smuggled out through a single airport, bypassing the national treasury entirely to fund the very bullets tearing the city apart? Neither side can win because the prize, the nation of Sudan, is being systematically dismantled by the very act of fighting. The SAF controls the central hubs, but lacks the manpower to hold the vast, rugged desert. The RSF controls the ground and the streets, but has no institutional capacity to govern. They are two predators locked in a death grip, drowning each other in a pool of hyperinflation, famine, and destroyed infrastructure. If Burhan wins, he inherits a pile of rubble and a starving population. If Hemeti wins, he inherits a state with no legitimacy and no economy.
The untold truth is that there is no day-after plan. There is only the now, a cycle of violence where the only thing being produced is more grief. Sudan was once promised to be the breadbasket of Africa, a land of infinite agricultural potential. Instead, it has become a cautionary tale of what happens when private interests and personal egos swallow a state whole. The real reason no one can win is that the war has evolved beyond the two men who started it. It is now a self-sustaining machine of profit, fueled by gold and lubricated by international indifference. The world is looking away, but the consequences of this stalemate will be felt for generations. If you found this analysis insightful, there is a much deeper story about the global scramble for Africa's resources that we're covering in our next video. Do you think international intervention is the only way out, or is Sudan destined to be carved up by warlords? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I respond to the most researched ones. Hit that like button if you learned something new, and subscribe to join our community of history buffs and researchers. Don't let these stories go untold.